There is nothing wrong with your internet. Do not attempt to adjust your settings. We are controlling the podcast. We control the squealing and the screams. We can make your heart flutter, your eyes blur from tears, or sharpen your mind to crystal clarity. For the next hour, sit back. We are in control of what you hear. We repeat, there is nothing wrong with your settings. You are about to experience the awe and mystery known as the female mind. You are now entering the Fangirl Zone. Welcome to the Star Power Podcast on the Fangirl Zone, a podcast where we discuss Stargirl on the CW channel. I'm Sean Fangirl S.
I'm Steve.
And I'm Cosmic Staff Dave, and today we'll be discussing episode 5 of season 2 of Stargirl.
Okay, so I wasn't sure what to expect, but I want to know everyone's initial reactions. So, Steve, what did you think?
Well, we did get a little bit of action in this episode.
Near the end.
Yeah, near the end, and we see Eclipso's powers at work, which we hadn't seen before, so that was interesting as well. I liked it. It was okay. I still think that we're going to have some issues with people seeing things and thinking things that aren't really true, as we saw in the final battle there of this week. So that'll be interesting to see how that all works out. But I liked it.
Yeah, I mean, carryover though? Like that'll carry over and continue, or what do you mean, Steve?
Yeah, I definitely think that's the visions that the three of them saw will definitely play into future episodes. There's no doubt.
Oh,
Eclipso's already knows their weakness.
Interesting. Sorry, Dave, I cut you off, but I wanted him to expand.
Mike's vision will be his parents leaving him.
Oh.
Something like that.
Horrible.
Isn't it?
I'm the one who's supposed to be dark, not you. Oh, my God.
Oh, no. I'm pretty dark.
So what did you think, though, overall, Dave, of this episode?
If we were rating these episode, which we're not, I would give it 3 out of 5 puking paws.
Ew.
I was impressed. Well, we know how much money they're spending on their CGI budget. It was Jade's transformation and flying, and now the whatever that was coming out of the wall.
Right.
That face. That was pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. They must have one good one left in them.
We got a lot of episodes left. I hope they have more than one good one.
Well, that stuff costs money. Got to pay everyone else. Yeah, I think I'm there with Steve, too. Took a while to get going, and there was a lot of filler. I was taking notes of things I saw in the background. The more the episode went on, the less I saw. I mean, but there was some good stuff going on in the background, like we'll get to it, like Grandma right in the beginning. If you look behind her, there's a doll.
The fact that you were picking up all of that stuff was like kind of not taking me out of the moment, but it was when I'm watching, I'm like, okay, wait, what did he see? I got to go and look. And it's like one of those Where's Waldo books. I'm like, what is it? Where did he see that? What's going on? I liked it, but I'm not like, yeah, this is great. Because again, I don't know, this sounds bad. Very teenage. I'm not going to listen to anything I know best. Because we had that happen more than once in this episode with Courtney, like, oh, Pat said to wait, but not. And Cindy, especially, like, I control this. Like, oh, sweet summer child. No, you don't.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I feel like not only is this setting up, like, all the kids to fail, not just the good guys, like, all of them, because even the ISA was looking a little crazy. Like, I'm worried for all of them, basically, the way this is setting up. And we have 13 episodes this season, and this is only episode 5. So we got a long way to go. But that's how I felt. So I will pass the baton on so we can get actually into the meat and potatoes of this episode.
Okay, episode 5, Summer School, Chapter 5. As Pat and Courtney clash over their next steps in their search for Eclipso, ominous weather conditions in Blue Valley hint that he may be near. You think? Meanwhile, Cindy's plan to recruit another student takes an unexpected turn, and Cameron opens up to Courtney.
Oh, isn't that cute? So the cold open for this episode is flashback to 10 years ago in Farmersville, California, where a young Cindy awoke from a nightmare about her father finding her and wanting to change her. I kind of like that part. First of all, it's always good to see her father.
Yeah.
So spooky. But when they panned away from her, she looked like she was stuck in some type of moment that she, of course, she regretted it or lamented it being changed. But I was asking Steve that if he thought she's redeemable, does she have that ounce left again? Because it sure didn't look like it. Like she was so disappointed or sad. What do you think, Sean? You think she's redeemable?
You know what? I would have said maybe 80% yes.
Wow,
just
that's a
seeing
lot.
this. But after seeing the preview for next week, I'm thinking no. No. Next week's preview made it like, okay, the whole world's going to burn and Cindy's going to laugh.
Cindy's mom rushed in when young Cindy was crying and assured her that they'll never be found. Thanks for jinxing that, Mom.
Yep.
And when
Right?
Cindy went back to sleep, we saw a Dragon King emerge from the bedroom shadows and, judging by the off-camera scream, startled his found child. Oh, either that or he put some lizardy hand on her, like, yuck.
Ew.
Yeah.
I was expecting the shade, like you were just going to see the top hat or something.
Getting scales into my pillowcase.
Ew.
Anyway, back to the present. Cindy eyeballs the Injustice Unlimited recruit Cameron while standing across the street from his mural in progress, though Grandma Machant warned Dragonkind's offspring to steer clear of her king and punctuated her chilling words with a puff of icy breath, which was way cool.
Yes.
So do you
Now, nothing
think
happened.
Cindy had no idea that like the whole family had this power?
Did we?
No.
Oh, 'cause I thought we knew about the parents, or am I just
Yeah. The parents, I
assuming
don't know
because the
about
parents
grandparents.
knew?
I thought just the grandparents knew about it. I
Well,
didn't know
that's
they
what
were.
I meant. The grandparents. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, nothing happened to Grandpa, right? He's still around. He just wasn't in the episode.
Right.
This is my comic book tinfoil theory, and I forgot to bring my tinfoil up with me. She managed to scare Cindy away with a little puff of ice and some eyeball turning.
Okay, those are creepy eyeballs.
Yeah, they're awesome. What if
Oh,
Cindy
that's another show.
uses the diamond? We're getting there. Cindy uses the diamond to possess Grandpa and has the standoff between purple icy Grandpa and icy Grandma. It's gonna be awesome.
Oh my God, is she trying to make everybody like an orphan? That would
Sure,
be
why
messed
not?
up.
Yeah.
Everybody will feel the way she does.
Yeah.
That's messed up. But now that you put that out there into the universe, it's like, oh man, Cindy, that redeemable level has definitely dropped into the negatives.
Yes.
Until Grandpa gets possessed.
I am not going to be able to stop thinking about that now. I'm going to wait for that to happen.
hope
Thanks,
so.
Dave. Well, we see Courtney finally show up back at home past curfew. Big surprise. Can I ask how nobody sees this like light flying around? Nobody ever looks up in Blue Valley. Is that what it is? But hey, she's busted by a waiting Pat, who I love the just teenage vitriol. Like, what are you doing in my room? It's like, what?
Yeah.
First of all,
I know, that's her first
Wow.
line of defense. Great.
but she explains that she was out looking for the shade, thinking maybe we can recruit him to the good guy side. It's like, what? Pat, I think, had the same face that everybody else had. Like, yeah, the shade's not to be toyed with. He's not a good guy.
But he's not
But-
evil.
Yeah,
Just bad.
well, he's just, yeah, not good, not evil, I guess. But I don't know, killing people isn't exactly good. We'll get to that eventually. I'm sure that it'll play a role in the upcoming episodes. But Pat finally explains a little bit more about Eclipso, that he can be tracked, or it can be tracked, not sure if it's a he, by the weather. And it must be getting stronger because the weather is getting hella bad in this area. Courtney apologizes for not telling him that she ran into the Shade, but that Shade was the one that explained about McDider's daughter, and asks Pat so innocently if there's anything that he hasn't told her. And the look on Pat's face as he says no. I don't know about
Right.
you guys. I'm like, well, that was just guilt pouring all over.
Yep.
I still need to know what it is. Dave, I think you were the one who had the tinfoil hat theory.
Yeah,
That McDider was the one that turned. So,
No, he's not the one that turned. He's trapped in the shadow realm.
oh no, you thought it was Johnny Thunder.
No, I didn't think it was Johnny Thunder.
Yeah, that
Well, it
was
could've
my
been.
guess. Yeah, we
Yeah.
thought
Oh,
that maybe
Steve.
one of the JSA was a double agent, and
Right. Either pressured to be or blackmailed to be or just plain got turned.
right.
I'm so used to Dave's tinfoil hat. Sorry, Steve had the tinfoil hat this time. So
No, that was my theory.
Yeah, he brought it up. I just mentioned that I thought it might have been Johnny Thunder because he had gotten sidelined originally.
Right. Okay, it's all coming back to me. The next day, we do get to see Cam, who is about to continue his painting on the wall, but the weather seems to be getting bad. Well, there was a lot of thunder, but I didn't think the clouds were too bad.
Seen worse.
Yeah.
No Johnny Thunder.
Yeah.
But since he's thinking about painting his dad, he doesn't want it ruined, so he heads to the school. He sees his art teacher, and as he's talking, drops his sketchbook, who the art teacher picks up, and again, had a weird vibe off this. I don't know about you guys. Like, teacher just gets up and start looking through it. It's like, why are you looking through somebody's personal stuff?
Right. Well, he knows it's a sketchbook, so...
That doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, well, he wants to be an influence on Cam, so that's why he's looking through it and he goes, oh, looky here.
Yeah, all the pictures of Courtney, which those are really good. So whoever actually drew those, kudos.
Yes.
And his teacher tells him, oh, you must have found your muse. I had a muse once, and that started to get to the weird, creepy teacher part again.
I think he just comes off that way.
Yeah.
Guy.
Too many shrooms back in the day. Maybe that was his muse. Just then, Courtney arrives, and Cameron tries to talk to her very unsuccessfully. And Cameron decides to, all right, I gotta go. As if you didn't notice, the teacher walks away with his sketchbook.
Right.
So Cameron goes to the art room, and here we see Miss Cindy, who's just looking, I don't know, mad at the world by looking at art. How can you be mad at everything? But she decides to share how she's sorry about Cameron's dad, and wow, what comes out of his mouth threw me for a loop because he didn't believe her and decides to tell her full out. Everyone, not just me, we all remember what you said in 4th grade after your mom died. And when he said that and just stopped, I was like, huh? He's like, I didn't like her anyway. I was like, wow. I mean, people get mad and there's ways to deal with grief, but wow.
Yeah.
She's calling that the Cam Slam.
Yeah. Yeah, Cindy's definitely stuck in the anger stage of grief. That's for sure.
Just a 4th grader, though.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess when you throw that out, like, yeah, nobody's going to forget that. And everyone's going to look at you kind of sideways forever.
Cam sure didn't forget it.
Nope.
And as Cindy decides to unsheath her, I don't know, blade. I'm like, I don't know what we're calling that because we see her contemplating just taking him out. But that's when the art teacher walks in to give Cam back his sketchbook, and Cam leaves. And away goes the shiv, by the way. The teacher talks to Cindy, who very discreetly had the diamond out. I thought she was playing with a necklace, but I guess it was the diamond the whole time.
Yep.
She says something, and I couldn't quite hear what she said. I thought she mumbled something anyway as she walked out. And then we suddenly hear the voice after she leaves, and we hear, I'm your new muse. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah.
Because, I don't know, that sounds like a creepy voice. I'm not feeling it. Very haunted house vibes.
Yep. As soon as you see that purple sparkle in the eye, you know Eclipso's got him.
Now, Dave, some of the stuff that you had seen in the background, was this the moment when you seen the eye painting, or was that later?
There was a big, right behind Paul against the wall was a big eye painting.
Yeah, like I couldn't keep up. You were finding so many, I don't want to say Easter eggs, but it's kind of foreboding issues like through the whole thing. And it's like, I couldn't see them all. So I'm like, I can't believe we're catching all of these weird things. They're kind of creepy, but it was great.
In Courtney's bedroom, when Pat was laying down the law, there was like this swirl painting behind Pat, too, when he was talking to her. Kind of like the swirl paintings. It could easily be a flower, too, but it was such a strange-looking flower. They kind of remind me of all the artwork that was on the wall once the new GSA walked into the art room.
Yeah. Well, we go see what's up with Barbara as Richard Swift has just kind of popped in without her hearing it, so it startles her when she turns around and he's there. And he reveals that he knows Courtney is looking for him and strongly suggests that Barbara counsel her daughter otherwise. Well, Barbara wants to know what he knows about the Black Diamond and the weird weather. And Swift tells her not to mention it again, as this is only the prelude.
How do you find a shade at night?
Right.
Just asking.
That's when he works the best.
Also tells her that her daughter and the others are too young to face the horror within. That doesn't sound good.
When he said that, I was trying to figure out what he was talking about, like their own fears or like just the horror of Eclipso. I wasn't quite sure.
I think it's the horror of Eclipso, and what we see later on with the teacher is exactly what I think he's talking about.
Oh, okay.
Not necessarily before the teacher. He got in the kid's head, but
not to the same extent.
Right. Not as bad as the teacher. And if their daughter does get wind of the diamond's location, she should contact him. Well, of course, Barbara says, I don't have your contact information. It wasn't on the card. And he goes, look again. So she pulls the card out from her desk and his number magically appears on the card. And
yeah, one of you guys had said that was going to happen at some point.
Yeah. And that was not a nice way for it to appear. It was a creepy way for it to appear.
I know, it took its time. Well, you should have just gone poof like a shadow. Instead, it burns its way on there with smoke and everything. And
then we see Rick, who apparently is about to make another burger run for Grundy, but stops when he sees Cameron working on the mural. He revs his engine to get Cameron's attention, but when Cam asks what he wants, Rick replies, nothing from you, and drives away.
What do you call him?
Yeah, what was that?
Oh, Dick.
Yeah.
Oh, is this a crossover with Teen Titans? Okay, I get it.
Know why he's so mad at Cameron? It's like, come on.
Well, he's the son of Icicle.
Right.
And he's putting his big Icicle mural up on the
Honestly,
on the
I thought that looked like Pat.
Yeah, so far it didn't look like Jordan,
strange.
But yeah, I think it will when he's done.
Yeah, the painting right now has this like red line through one of the eyes. It's like, what is he, Lizard, the Dragon King or something?
Right.
It's kind of weird. One of those background things for Rick was, as Steve mentioned, the buckets behind him. You thought it was burgers. I thought it was like chicken buckets.
I thought it was chicken too, but heck, it could be nachos the way they were talking.
This whole episode's making me hungry.
Yeah.
Nacho.
I got a theory from Tom that works at Wonderland Comics in Putnam, Connecticut. He thinks that Barbara is Shade's missing daughter or long-lost daughter, and that's why she reminds him of somebody long ago. And I thought, wow, that's a good one. But
that was a weird comment, and that would make sense then.
Yeah.
Especially when he, at the end, mentions family.
Right.
And you kind of go, huh?
Huh?
Where did that come from?
And that would make Courtney his granddaughter, right?
Oh, yes.
I'm just sitting there like, hold it.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
That was really weird.
Yeah. Wait, could that be why, for some reason, Icicle was drawn to her? Like he could feel some kind of underlying power or something?
Drawn to Barbara?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or he was just a creeper that wanted to.
It kind of struck me as a creeper.
Yeah. That definitely was first. But yeah, seeing that Shade and Jordan never got along, if Jordan definitely felt that Barbara was somehow related to the Shade, sure, he'd go after her in a heartbeat. So that's a definite possibility. If this story goes that way,
weird / creepy.
Sense. Yeah. It would make a little sense.
It crosses my theory that Barbara's from another dimension, or the other dimension, or world, however you want to put it. That the new the Starman that we've seen at the beginning of the episode, not this episode, is looking for her.
Right.
Weird. Well, they can tie that together. They can give him an Emmy.
Yeah.
So we got a team meeting coming up. Pat is explaining to Rick and Beth that the weather is a key to finding the Black Diamond. Beth interrupts, telling Pat that Dr. Might is still alive, which Pat thinks is impossible, but does agree that if he is alive, they should find that out. At the school, Paul is giving the class an assignment on the Trojan horse, and he starts coughing, decides to end class early, cut to Barbara, and Zeke's junkyard where they find Mike who wants to buy a station wagon to haul the JSA around in.
Getaway car.
I know. What did he call that?
Better than just a bike.
What was that vacation movie? They had I forgot the name.
National Lampoon?
Yeah, they had a station wagon.
Yes.
I forgot what it was, the family something or other. That's what it reminded me of.
Was his family roadster?
Yeah, roadster. That's
but
it.
wasn't that car the one that belonged to the magician's family from the first episode?
Could be.
I can't remember what she was driving. The woman was driving when she was trying to get out of town.
I think it was a station wagon.
Yep.
I don't know how did Zeke end up with it. I don't want to know.
Well,
they put everything in the junkyard. I thought.
Absolutely.
Yeah. After asking Zeke for a minute, Pat explains they don't need the wagon, and he has JS stuff for them to do, which causes Mike to give him a hug. Aw, that was the best hug of the episode.
Right.
Yeah, they actually had that moment to connect. It's like, I know what it's like, and you and I need to work on stuff, like small stuff, and then we'll figure out other stuff. But yeah, you and I. And I feel like this was like a pivotal moment, especially the way this whole episode ends. So I'm hoping that this will pull Mike firmly into our court.
Ooh, I hope not.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so. I like the scene, but it sure felt like Pat was just not into it.
I know, he needed nudging from Barbara just to like, hello, do something.
Right. And it's like, oh, what's going on here? Because
they used to be a lot closer.
Yeah, that's his son.
Yeah.
And it was like almost like Beth's dad.
Yeah, that was weird.
Now it may be the Eclipso effect is getting to him too, maybe.
Yeah, maybe it's the weather.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Courtney and Yolanda heading home after class, and after seeing Cameron working on his mural, Courtney tells Yolanda that she'll catch up with her later. Cameron shows Court his sketches of her, which impresses her. They go over to his parents' home and they show her the garden. Nice place.
Oh, shoot, yeah.
Just as they're about to kiss, Courtney's phone goes off and she apologizes, but she has to go. I wonder what TV and movies did before we had cell phones to interrupt every moment.
Right.
A dog run in and jump, or
yeah.
The creepy grandma who was watching them anyway would have walked in.
Oh, I know. That's another background thing. Look up. There's grandma. Nice.
Yeah. Now
I swear when you first... Oh, go ahead. I'm saying when you first see like the garden and them talking and them kind of pull back, I'm like all of a sudden hearing the Little Mermaid like la 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 la. Like the whole kiss the girl happening, but he wasn't waiting. It's just, hold on. No, I gotta go.
Yeah. And then Cameron gets yo-yoed in this episode something fierce. Because, of course, Cindy goes after him trying to get him into the group. And then he gets a little bit of time with Courtney and she has to leave. And this ain't the first time because he even comments, either you don't show up or you got to leave. So is this going to turn him off of Courtney because he can't rely on her to be there when he wants her to be there?
Yeah, maybe it's a cry. Courtney cries wolf too many times to him and he won't be there
right
when he needs her.
He goes from not JSA to he might be able to go JSA now. I mean, ISA now.
Yeah.
I honestly thought, though, as she starts to walk away and she's like, this will be the last time, she was going to kind of run back and give him like a quick kiss.
Should have.
Yeah.
And then maybe it wouldn't have been so bad. Like the hurt that she had to leave. But again, creepy grandma, I think if she'd have kissed him, would have done something really bad.
I don't know. Grandpa wanted Cameron to have some fun.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, Grandma's probably a little more protective, seeing that Mom's not around anymore.
Right.
I don't know. I think we'll see Grandma play a bigger role.
Yes, against zombie grandpa. Zombie grandpa.
Oh, we find out what the whole phone messages were about because we see the group who was supposed to be waiting for Pat outside of the school in their full superhero garb, but instead they don't wait because we're so surprised with that. They don't wait because they see Mr. Diesinger's car and they go in to find him thinking, oh no, something can be horribly wrong for our beloved teacher. Meanwhile, something is horribly wrong for their beloved teacher. He's in the art room staring at a blank canvas, telling the voice in his head or around him, we're not quite sure, that he can't see anything. and Eclipso tells him to use his muse and look harder. Things start getting weird because with paint-covered eyes, he begins to paint rapidly on the canvas. After he threw up a bunch of paint, by the way, which was really disgusting.
Yes.
I did not need to see it dripping off his lip. I'm just saying, like, again, all right, we get it. He's coughing it up, but come on. Ugh, glad I wasn't eating. As the JSA team runs in, they see the room covered in splattered paint. I'm like, oh, it's a whole art exhibit in itself. And over multiple canvases, they see to find the same type of diamond-like drawing. And that, of course, when the storm hits, that's a nicer way of saying stuff's hitting the fan.
Right.
Yolanda suddenly hears ringing in her ears, and the door to the classroom shut. The room wind, where's that coming from, picks up, and someone starts coming out of the diamond painting on the wall. Because super creepy again. It's like, okay, we've gone into a horror movie, everyone.
Right. It was awesome. I loved it.
Whatever it is starts crawling the walls and using the splattered paint to move around. It's like, what is happening? And quick question, because Beth had come in with her goggles on, and she kind of got knocked so the paint would end up on the goggles. Did that happen because the goggles were protecting her from Eclipso's powers? Any ideas, guys?
I don't know why she lifted her goggles, to tell you the truth.
They were covered with yellow paint.
Were they? Okay.
Yeah, because I think it was, I don't know if it was when Yolanda's ears were ringing that she bumped into her and she kind of, how clumsy are you? But still, do you think that those goggles were protecting her because she wasn't affected right away?
No, I don't think so. There's no Chuck. There's no Dr. McNider.
Right.
You know, I think when she's using them in the hallway, it was just like to scan stuff. I think it's pretty much what they do. I mean, it took away her power of scanning and explaining things. I'll give you that.
See, that's what I was thinking, that somehow like he couldn't break through the, I don't want to say computer, but basically, the electronic interference. Maybe that's my tinfoil hat for the future. We'll see if that plays out. But we finally get out into the hallway because Rick busts down the door with his Our Man strength. And when they get to the hallway, it's not getting better because Yolanda, Beth, and Rick are haunted by their fears and end up leaving Courtney on her own to deal with Eclipso.
Usually when Rick needs to summon his powers, you turn the hourglass over, and that gives him an hour.
Yep.
But we don't see him do that. Why would he turn it over and waste all that time until he needed to?
Right.
I mean, it was pretty awesome to see him slam that door open. But if he started ahead of time, he's just costing himself Our Man time.
Yep.
That's what I was thinking. I just assumed that he did it like before they went in there. But yeah, that doesn't make sense that he'd waste the time.
I wish they would show it, though. And I don't think they've been consistent in showing him.
No, they haven't.
No, I wish they would, because that was part of Our Man's deals, to turn the hourglass over.
Yep. We got an hour to get this done. Let's get busy.
I know. Yeah.
Now I'm going to be thinking about that. Be like, was it supposed to happen off screen? What's going on? But Mr. Daysinger, with weird paint swirling all around him and darkness, says he is blinded by the darkness as Courtney runs up on him. And she just keeps telling him fight. But it also gives her an idea to use the light from her staff, telling him to reach for the light. He does do that, which I'm surprised he was able to fight that well. And when he does finally reach the staff, he collapses to the ground. I will say, when they do pan to him in a minute, when he's laid out and he's saying that he lost his muse and all you see is paint like all around him, I thought he was going to disintegrate.
Yeah.
And I thought that was going to be Courtney's fear that she uses the staff for good but kills somebody. I went dark there too. But but it didn't happen because we do see everyone back at the garage. And Pat mentions that Eclipso's powers are getting stronger since he was able to do all that to the kids without the diamond actually being there, at least as far as we know. Just because it wasn't on him, I'm thinking Cindy was underneath with the diamond, so it was close enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the explanation for the poor teacher, he had a breakdown and he's having psychological evaluations now. Great. So bad for that poor guy.
I hope that's not the end of his character.
Right.
That's already rough for him. Beth finally confronts her parents because her parents notice that she made breakfast for them and she informs them that she knows about the divorce papers. And they awkwardly try to avoid the subject and eventually tell her they'll be discussing it that evening. And awkward is like the main point there.
Yes.
Like, what is going on? First of all, the whole family is matching in those brown tones, and Beth is wearing something from like the 70s. What's going on? It was just like, why is Beth the adult in this situation? It was just weird, the whole thing. So hopefully we'll get some more information. I don't know.
Well, I have a theory, but this is a family show, so I'm not going there.
Yeah.
And our final scene on the power front, we see Cameron painting the nose of his father, which, again, still looks like Pat to me. But he drops a paintbrush having what looks like, I don't know, a hand cramp. But as the camera zooms to the paintbrush, we see it's suddenly covered in frost.
Dun,
So
dun, dun.
I guess his powers are coming to the forefront.
Shouldn't have painted that nose. It was nothing to sneeze at.
Oh.
Well, any other thoughts on this episode?
I've got nothing.
Nope.
Well, we'd love to hear your thoughts on each and every episode this season. Our deadline for feedback is 6 p.m. Eastern every Friday during the season. You can send your feedback, be it email or audio, to contact us at fangirlzone.com.
Please review and rate us on iTunes and any other platform you use for your podcast. With good ratings and reviews, it helps other fans of the show find us. Tell your friends, and we hope you are enjoying our podcast. And don't forget to check out the other great Fangirl Zone podcasts.
There's so many podcasts, like the Mudhorn Clancast, for example, that we absolutely adore. I wonder why. But you can check everything out. You can check everything out at www.fangirlzone.com, and you can click on our contacts page there to see the multitudes of ways you can contact us. And we would love to hear from you, along with tweet with you, because we tweet live as often as we're able to. So, for this episode of the Star Power Podcast,
I'm Steve. You can sketch me as many times as you want. Is that what they're calling it now?
I'm Sean Fangirl S, and I can't pretend anymore.
And this was Cosmic Staff Dave. Is it weird that I've been sketching Courtney too? It is weird, isn't it?
So weird.